Hi everybody, welcome to the Zoology Ck12 tutorial. Um, I wanted to make this to give you guys an overview of how you should be using Ck12 as a resource and how to do your assignments, like over here, what I'm looking for in your notes, and how to turn in practices and so on. Like always, these have due dates, so you can see they'll pop up on your right hand side when they're due. The CK12s look like these little yellow squares, kind of like the Ed puzzles. If you go into Unit 2, we're finishing up Unit 2 this week, you will see a folder called CK12 Chapter 1, Animals and Their Behavior. That's where we're starting, because if you look at the calendar up here, you'll see 1.1 all the way through 1.6, and then there's 1.7 and 8 next week. And let me just bring your attention to, I have what you're supposed to do, and you'll notice I don't have a homework anymore. So basically, these are your classwork and your homework if you don't finish within the 90 minutes of classwork. It kind of looks like a lot right here, but they're not. They're pretty short. And I highlighted every time you have a practice. I think almost every time you have a reading, you'll have a practice. For some reason, there is one for this one, but I wasn't able to assign it, so I'm not really sure what that's about. This is a learning lesson for me too, so I think I have it figured out for the most part, and I'm going to show you how I would approach this if I were you. You might be able to figure something else out that works for you, so play around with it. Let me know how it's working for you. I'm definitely open to feedback. I know learning online is hard. You distance learners at home definitely know this more than anyone. So yes, I'd appreciate your feedback on how this is working for you. Okay, let's jump into it. You would go to this CK12 chapter if you weren't going to click on one of these over here on the side, and then you have all of them listed. Now notice that I have a PDF of chapter 1 up here. I'll come back to that in a second. You're going to click on one of these and it opens right within Schoology. So like I said before, this is an online textbook. You guys did have a little preview of this with the intro to microscopes. So all of your textbook information is contained in this one page. So I'm telling you, read 1.1, read notes, and do the practice. So I have it set up so each assignment is going to this home page of 1.1, but you as a reader are able to click on this and go to the next page within this self-contained page in Schoology. Like you can go to 1.2 all the way to chapter 2 just by clicking here. I don't want you to do that. When I say read, notes, and practice for 1.1, I just mean reading everything that's on this page, taking notes. You know how to do that. I'll talk about that in a second. And then you're going to do this practice. The very bottom right hand corner, you'll see this practice button. You kind of have to scroll down in the Schoology window to see it. So, your native view is going to be like this. And if you don't see the practice, well, that's because you have to go outside of the box and then scroll down. You can also make this full screen. And then if you scroll all the way down, then there's the practice thing. So obviously I want you to read this and take notes. This is a little bit different because these are a lot shorter sections. So you can take notes how you see fit. These green words are vocabulary words. And it's cool because if you totally forget what a nucleus is, for instance, you could click on this and it takes you, I just did this, it takes you to another, it opens a new tab and it takes you to the CK12 actual website. And it shows you, hey, this is what a nucleus is. You could find reading information on it, you could watch a video on it, you could do a practice on it. You could do this for any of the vocabulary words. They have little mini modules on what things are. So if you're struggling on a concept and you're like, darn it, I just can't remember what eyes are or whatever, you could click on it and it opens it up in a new page. It doesn't disturb your progress in here. These are pretty cool because they are made by people like you and me who have gathered lots of resources from the internet and put them on here. So a lot of times on these pages you'll see text, you'll see images, you'll see charts and graphs. Here is a lot of them have YouTube videos embedded in them. And if you're anything like me, I have really crappy internet at home in Nahiku. So, like I've been trying to load this for a couple minutes and it's only loaded 30 seconds. So that's okay. They're not critical to watch. A lot of them are really cool, especially once we jump into the different phylum of animal. They'll show you all these funky, weird examples of animals. So I encourage you to watch them, but these aren't critical to answering the practice. So you do need to take notes. If you go back to Schoology, you will see that at the very bottom of this Chapter 1 folder, you have an assignment for notes. So there's 8 sections that are all pretty much as short as this, which is pretty short. So I'm doing the same thing like I did for notes out of the textbook. They're each worth 5 points. So Chapter 1 notes is going to be worth 40 points. So that's a lot more than the other ones where we only had 2 or 3 sections. So this is your chance to really like boost your grade in this class. And it kind of goes the same for, if you don't do them. Like if you don't do them, 40 points is a lot of your daily Kuleana. Let me just show you guys this real quick. So what the grades look like right now, we have our 3 grading categories: assignments, which all of the homework from the physical textbook and all of the practices from Ck12 are going in assignments, which is 45% of your grade. Daily Kuleana is 20% of your grade, and this is just your notes. I don't have anything else in this grading category. And then we'll have maybe another quiz, or once we finally get to do some labs, then they'll go in this category. So you definitely need to do your practices and your notes, okay? Like this is worth 40 points, and if you just don't do it, then you're going to get a very low grade for this category, which is 20% of your grade. So take notes. What if you want, you can take them all on the same piece of paper and just, go 1.1, 1.2. Please make sure that you're showing me which category you're taking notes for. I need to be able to say, okay, yes, you took notes 8 times and for 8 different sections. So you need to differentiate between what's 1.1, 1.2, 1.3. You can send me the pictures of all of your notes after you finish 1.8. You don't need to do it every day, or you can if you want to, whatever's good for you. I just expect them. We're finishing this up on Monday of next week, so I expect them on Monday. That's why they have the due date of next Monday, okay? Now let's talk about the practice. The practice draws questions from this page. I've already started one, so your first button will look a little bit different. Basically, you have to answer 10 questions correctly. So it'll bring you to, it's still within Schoology, but it brings you to a different page that it loads. And you'll have to answer their multiple choice and fill in the blank. So which animal, most animals have which characteristics, that's all of the above. So you can hit check it. It says, yeah, you got it right. And you have this progress bar up at the top. You need to get 10 right. If you, let's just say you get one wrong, it'll say, oh, that one's wrong. Do you want to try again? And let's say you're totally stumped. First of all, if you answer it wrong twice, it'll move on and ask you a different question, but you still haven't made progress up here. So it's going to wait for you to make 10 out of 10 correct answers, okay? You can click on this little guy over here, need a hint, and they'll give you a little bit of a hint. I'm not sure if they're all very helpful because I didn't make these questions. So use this feature and tell them no if that's not helpful. So this is what I wanted to, this is the main thing that I wanted to show you. At this point, if you don't know a question and the hint isn't working, you can go back and this will take you back to the original reading. The only thing is you're going to go back, you're going to look for an answer, and then you're going to go back to the practice and be like, okay, well, what if the next question's the same? Some of these, zoology, we're getting into heavier terminology, like vocabulary words. They're more complex, which is why I encourage you, first of all, to take diligent notes, take good notes so you can refer to your notes and answer these. But if you are a minimalist and you're just not, filling the notes or whatever it may be, if you just can't remember something, go back. Or what I did is I downloaded this online textbook and I put it in the folder, just this chapter 1 part. Okay, so you can click on this. I already have it open in this tab. And this is the PDF of all of chapter 1. You can see it goes 1.8, 1.1 to 1.8. And then there's a section for the references. You can download this to your computer if you want. But this is the same thing. I think it's just a little bit less interactive. I don't think you can click on the vocabulary words in this, but it has the same pictures. I think there might be like weird blank spaces where the YouTube videos are, maybe, or maybe not. So if this were me and I was a student in this class and I had to do this online thing, I'm a major multitasker. So what I typically do on any day of the week is I have 2 tabs running at one time. And, oh, sorry, you're seeing me in my hubby over there. Let me show you what this looks like. I know this is a little bit different on a Mac, but this is what it would look like. You would have Schoology on one side, and you would have your PDF on the other side. So you're in the PDF, like I said, you can download it, or you can make this one full screen, and you can go and find, you're like, what, I just can't remember what animals, how they respond to stimuli. So I'm going to go back and I'm going to find it. And I know I took notes on this, but I'm just having, trouble, whatever. Like, go, and then you're like, oh, it's all of the above. Let's try it. Oh, let's try that again. All of the above. And look, we got it, okay? So that's actually what I recommend you guys do, is you utilize having this PDF available, and just do a split screen. And I think on your guys' MacBooks, you can hit Control and then the bracket button, the square bracket, not the curly bracket that's up by the P. So you can hit Control and then the left or right bracket, and I think that it puts whatever window you're in at the moment on the left or right hand side of your screen. And it's starting to pour rain, so this recording is probably gonna get kind of bad. So anyways, that's the result, or not the result. Sorry, it's been a long day. That's pretty much the intro to Ck12. I think that's pretty much all I wanted to talk about. There's one more major thing. Once you're done with the practice, if you get to 10 out of 10, you can hit, I think, submit or stop, and it'll take you back to the main page, the reading page, but you have to do one more step in order to submit it, because it's going to go straight to the gradebook as soon as you do this. You have to, it'll say, oh, you didn't do so good or whatever, because I skipped it, right? I did 20%, and you're going to have to come over here and click this yellow button, and look, see down here, it says, wait, you haven't finished your practice. So I'm going to say turn in, and they're like, hey, you didn't do so great. Are you sure you don't want to keep practicing? And I'm going to hit turn in again. And it's going to submit it. And what it does is it goes straight to the gradebook, and it puts a 2 out of 10 for my grades. So now I can go back to my grades and I can refresh this and I can see, oh man, I bombed this one. I might want to redo this. I need to message Miss Bree. Okay. One other thing about the practices is that you need to get 10 right, but there's like 20 to 30 or sometimes even 40 questions that it cycles through. But I noticed that a lot of times they'll keep asking you the same questions. So you'll probably see questions like pop up that are the same. So that's just a free point. I'm still trying to figure out how to like change these practices, but for now, for the first couple chapters, I like the way they are. So I don't need to change anything, but yeah, good luck with this. Let me know how you guys are liking it. Please, like I said, I'm really open to feedback. And I think that's pretty much it. So good luck. This week we have just go and do 1.1 today, and then we're going to do these 3 sections tomorrow. And don't forget to take your notes and actually submit your practice by hitting that turn in button. Okay, well, I've talked for almost 15 minutes now. I'm going to get off, and let me know if you have any questions. Message me through Schoology if you need help, or your internet's not great, or you need printed or whatever it is. Okay, I'll talk to you soon. Aloha.